I'm Mint Salad and I saw Death to Smoochy. It is directed by Danny DeVito. This is a request from Lorenzo from That's All Funny podcast. I have no previous exposure to this movie. I had not seen it before, so if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The movie starts with following Rainbow Randolph. He's a host at a very colorful children's show on television, and he's very popular. However, off screen, he drinks a lot and he accepts bribes, and during this bribe that he's accepting the money of, this person's like, "Oh, well, could you offer me a position?" Well, I think the position closed up. And then he walks away with the money. And it's like, dude, this is theft. Dude, you were just gonna accept the money even if he didn't have a firm position. But anyway, he gets arrested. And then he gets kicked off. Within the first 5 minutes, it's already a roller coaster. I'm like, what is going on? But his face has to be replaced by somebody who is squeaky clean. We're gonna meet this guy. His name is Sheldon, and he's doing a bunch of guitar, drum at the drug clinic, where no one's really listening to him. They're just like, yeah, there's just a guy here. He's playing guitar and he's singing about, now you gotta get off of that stuff, man. Someone from the network approaches him, and of course he's like, yes. I really like Sheldon at this point in the movie. He seems very sincere. He's using his free time is at a drug clinic. I mean, not a drug clinic like a hospital, but more of a recovery place. You just gotta get off of those drugs is what he's preaching. So he makes the perfect children's television show host, and he's going to be a rhino, and he looks cool as a rhino. And I'm like, man, I want to be a rhino. Rhinos are cool. They have horns on their heads, and I wish that I could pet one. I wish there were more easily accessible rhinos were. It's unfortunate that they're endangered, or at least I know the white rhino is. I'm not sure about other rhinos, but perfect animal to make a mascot. Let's have Steven be the mascot, and let's him be very popular, even though his producer, very new producer, very mean to him. Very stern, hey, no, you cannot be talking to me. I tell you what to do, and you're not allowed to do anything without my permission, okay? And she was like, and you know what, Sheldon was like, I want to be executive producer. I'm going to bring in some guy. He's going to first find my Santa hat that fell on the floor. But then, you know what he's going to do? He's going to negotiate for a deal to become executive producer. And what a dangerous power to have. Imagine being in charge of a show that feeds so many people. Like the creative decisions. Yeah, I understand that Sheldon's I really want to have more of a good message for children. But the network he's working with, they're like, you gotta sell sugar, you gotta sell toys, you gotta sell all this stuff so we get money. And then, oh yeah, let's just get the money, bam. Then keeps going. But of course, Sheldon's like, I don't like that. I like how he stands up to his producer. He's like, you know what? I want this to be very integral. I want the childhood network to be full of positive messages and not of just trying to shove advertisements and products down your throat to children, via children. And his new agent's like, hey, and can you do this ice rink, please, Sheldon? It's only going to be fully for profit. Everything is charged. You're going to be charging everything. And of course, he's like, no. But you know what he does accept? A random call. He's like, hi, I have a proposition for you. Do you want to perform at a child's place? A child's hospital? Somewhere with children? Do you want to perform in a bunch of children, in front of a bunch of children? Exactly like that, totally for sure. And he's like, yeah, I'll take it. I'm like, that's a little sussy. You have Rainbow Randolph is recently out of a career and is shown to be homeless. He's not really allowed anywhere really without like any much ridicule. I feel sorry for him. I mean, he tried to take someone's bribe money, but now he's homeless and he has to like beg and plead, and he eventually goes to one of his ex-business partners places, and he's like, please sympathy, please. And he does have a place to stay. He's gonna be super grateful for it, right? We see Steven is like, all right, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna perform in front of a bunch of children by myself without the network knowing whatsoever. You know what happens? First, you got the blinding lights. I'm singing to a bunch of children, and the children aren't singing back. What's weird? That's weird. Would you suspect it? Well, I don't know. Could you tell me who's here? And then the lights shine, and then bam! It's a bunch of he's not people there, just there, and what makes it worse, they do the whole hand symbol thing, and it's like, no! This is so bad! And then he got a photo of him standing in front of a flag, and it's like, wow, this is awful. What bad PR, and of course his career gets taken. So at this point of the movie, we've seen somebody start with a career, he had a career, lose it, and then we saw the start of somebody else's career, and we saw them lose it as well. Wow, this is a roller coaster. Rainbow Randolph shows up at the office of Sheldon's producer, Nora, and he's like, he, I used to be your lover, but now can we be together? And he reveals that he actually set up Sheldon. She feels bad. Oh no, that was bad. Speaking of other shady things involving Sheldon, why are people just suddenly going after Sheldon? You got the agent just gives him a gun. Hey, here, take this gun. You'll need it in the business. And I'm like, what? What? In the entertainment business, you need a gun? What type of deals are we dealing with here? But I digress. No matter how shady the agent is, we still have the fact that Sheldon has his job back. And I find this to be very funny. Rainbow Randolph is now labeled as like a very hateful man, world's hated man, the hatiest man in America. What a grand title for Rainbow Randolph. And you know what he does? In the middle of the street, he pours a bunch of gasoline on himself, and he's about to burn himself alive when a bunch of like people just crowd around, and there's only one child that's like, don't do it, Rainbow Randolph. And he's like, you know what, I won't burn myself alive. Instead, I'll just sit in my pile of the gasoline that I poured on myself. And this scene was like, wait, doesn't gasoline burn when it touches your skin? I wouldn't know personally, just because I've never touched gasoline. It's just something that I've heard. But now that I think about it, that doesn't really make sense, because gasoline is very widely distributed. What part would burn you? It's not really acidic, I don't think. I'm no science. I don't do science. I don't know things. But also, I really like the part where now we have, Sheldon is, I'm gonna, big boy. Oh yeah. We also see more of a relationship between Sheldon and Nora, which is cute. I'm also like, is this really workplace appropriate? No. I don't think so. But also, it wouldn't make sense that coworkers would hook up with each other. Especially like in a network where there's just like a whole bunch of coworkers, so you have a big old pond to choose from, and it just so happens that the person that he's interacting with the most, he also likes the most as well. That makes sense. They have a big old smooch fest. And then there's some things there's things about to happen, okay? The big thing is about to happen is that, hey, Sheldon is actually going to do an ice show, but with no money involved. Well, when I say no money involved, I specifically mean none of the charity partners are there. And also, we see that he has provided drinks and saltless pretzels. And I'm like, dude, just include the salt. Why are you not including the salt? I do talk about Sheldon in like a really positive light, but I did forget to mention the scene right after when he loses his job. He's like all pure healthy eating, and then he eats himself a fast food burger, and I'm like, whoa, that's him being trash, according to his standards, because he's eating trash food, and he doesn't stand by eating trash food. We also see him kind of succumb to his emotions a little bit more, especially anger. We see him about to kill someone, and he has to be talked down. I'm like, oh man, this is so human. Wow, this is a struggle. But yeah, we're at the ice rink. They're having a grand old time. However, there's a plot happening. Someone has hired a hitman. A heroin-addicted hitman who dozes off constantly. And you know who hired him? Sheldon's agent, to hit on Sheldon with a gun, with a bullet, through his brain. Right in front of a bunch of children! No morals on this guy whatsoever. He just wants money. He's a bad guy. Agent, bad. Go through the entire show. There's a whole like tension of, oh, is the hitman gonna hit him? No, he's sleeping. And right as he's about to hit him, we get some Rainbow Randolph is there. He's also trying to do something, but then he notices the gunman is like, I gotta take him down. He takes him down at the right moment, where he, instead of shooting directly through his brain and skull, he goes through his horn. He falls down. It's like, whoa. What is this? This is wacky adventures. Someone almost tried to kill Sheldon. Someone almost tried to kill a beloved Smoochy. Man, that bullet really just wanted to give Sheldon a big old smooch through the brain, I guess. Speaking of other shady things, there's also a little bit of like the corruption that I forgot to mention at this beginning of the review. But Sheldon is threatened by a bunch of dudes from the mob, and it's very scary. Hey, put this guy here. Put him in our show. If you don't, we'll use our guns and be very scary. It's a whole like thing just throughout the rest of the movie, where he's being threatened by these guys to keep this guy in this one place, even including having that one guy be a rhino, and then he is mistaken for Sheldon in another attempt to kill Sheldon, and instead he is shot there. And I feel like the network television makes it a whole plot, and so does Sheldon. Sheldon makes it a whole plot that we love the brother is gone. Actually, I think it was a cousin. My cousin is gone. And I'm so sad about it. And then they have a big old smooch. And then, big twist, Rainbow Randolph and Smoochy have a show together. And it's like, whoa, epic. That's how the movie ends. I really like the character progression of Sheldon so much. Like, he just seems, he was like, yeah, I have high hopes for the world at the beginning of the movie when he was recruited. And then he becomes disillusioned. And then he finds himself a romantic partner and it keeps on going. But, like, at some point he's disillusioned, he's about to be angry, he's about to let out, but he has to restrain himself. And I feel like the ultimate restraint is, like, his character. He's very sincere. He's a sincere one. He's the only sincere one, it seems, in this entire network. Is Nora sincere herself? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, she definitely does connect with Sheldon on a pretty deep level. They have shared childhood programs, which made them want to work in the childhood industry in the first place. That is a pretty sweet tale of how one person there's a thing that I like too. Hey, I'm working at the thing that I like. Wow, what a cool improvement. I think it's disillusioned. I also like her character progression. She's very closed off, especially, it seems like she's closed off towards everyone, but especially towards Sheldon. And then more and more time occurs, she gets a little bit more open to him, and so he's able to do more, but Sheldon's also able to get himself into trouble, like being at a rally, or being at an ice rink that someone's trying to assassinate you at. Man, it seems like Sheldon has some really bad luck. I also really appreciate Rainbow Randolph and his character progression. It seems like he's a little bit less bitter by the end of the movie. I just think that this movie in general is just a roller coaster. We see careers start, end, and end some more, and end some more, and start again, and end some more. And it's a whole, like, I feel like it's like a commentary on the corruption within, like, this media company. It's like, this is how corruption happens. If someone tries to strong arm you with a gun to place the guy that the guy strong arming you wants in the TV, and you have to do it as, like, a producer, or else you're gonna get shot, or somebody in your family's gonna get shot and die. And who cares about not having this guy in if it matters for your life, you know? So, you know, that's how corruption happens. Like, hey, I really like that. I really like a much darker look into the children's entertainment industry. It's happy and playful at the very beginning, and then pretty much immediately it's like, oh, as soon as you jump in to the industry, it's a lot darker and seedier and much more capable of corruption than, well, I don't know if I have a comparison to it. It's just corrupt, is what this movie told me. There's also, is there a ton of sincere people working in these industries? I hope there are. I mean, sincerity is good. I like sincerity. I would say I'm even a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of Sheldon because of his sincerity. The colors were very vibrant, and the green screen compositing was hilarious, because I could tell, but also, it was like, you know what's good for 2002? I could see the obvious, the driver is clearly not in the same room as the actor behind him. The actor behind him is kind of green screened in, but I still find this to be very hilarious. And also, I just really like the, what is it called? The graphics. Yeah, that's what they're called. I really like the graphics that they used, like, a lot. Really playful, very vibrant, colorful, especially for such a dark movie. I wouldn't even have known that this movie existed, but I'm glad that I do know it exists. Because of his existence, I gotta give this movie a solid... This is a really hard movie to score. You know, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie, you can always request it in the comments below. You can fast track a movie request at patreon.com. So it's ASEPresents, $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, or $3 a month for some daily vlogs, all at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of these movie reviews, go to this link tree. It really helps with the daily grindiness of literally everything. So go here, and until next time, I'm mint salad sauce. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.